you, Bill. Right now, roads are closing in downtown Charleston. Water has covered Ashley Avenue already off Calhoun, and that's where we find our Colby Satterfield right now. So, Colby, out there downtown, I can see it's a big mess. What else are you seeing out there?
Bill, it's a big mess, and I'm seeing a lot of rain, and I'm seeing a lot of flooding. Right now, I'm on Ashley Avenue, right off Calhoun Street, specifically right in between Halsey Street and Bennett Street is where the bulk of this rain's coming down. Now, I'm going to show you the deepest part of the rain that I have seen so far on this street. You can see the water coming up on the cars. It's up partially on their tire and barely touching the bottom of their car. You're seeing the water come up on the driveways. You're also seeing it come up against the sidewalks. Now, here's where I found it to be the deepest, and I have about 16-inch boots on, and you can see it's up about halfway. And with rain in the forecast, it's going to keep raining down here, but I'll be here to monitor this rainfall and this flooding in all of downtown. Live in downtown Charleston, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
All right, Colby, good job. Heavy rain and flooding also a concern out at Edisto Beach, where police earlier reported some roads have standing water several inches deep already. Karina Bolster live out on Edisto right now. Karina, the radar shows that area where you are just about to see the last of the storm, but I can see it's coming down hard there at Edisto Beach.
You know, you talking to me may have just jinxed it, Bill, because that rain is just starting to come down at this point. But right now, you know, it looks like Edisto Beach has seen a majority of what we're going to be seeing anyways with Tropical Storm Julia. As you mentioned, that last rain band is coming through the area right now, so it looks like we're almost out of the clear right now. But as of right now, the major issue that we're seeing is a lot of the standing water on the roadways. If you take a look at my boots right now, I'm going to scooch closer to the sidewalk. I'm standing in several inches of water at this point, and this isn't the only area. If you look further down the road here on Palmetto Boulevard, this is actually a 4-lane road. As you can tell right now, it is now a 2-lane road because of the amount of water that is creeping onto the roadway at this point. Now, police are concerned about another factor, and that's the amount of debris that you see right here. This was all left over from Tropical Storm Hermine. They're worried about the wind gusts. If they increase, that this debris may even creep out into the roadway. And take a look right here. You know, we're talking about debris, you know, as we mentioned, branches. This sign right here, this is possibly from Tropical Storm Hermine and hasn't been put back up on the post yet. So a lot of cleanup is still going on from that tropical storm system. And of course, we are keeping an eye on the damaging effects that we're seeing from Julia at this point. But right now, not too many, which is not too many effects, thankfully enough. But of course, we'll be out here all throughout the afternoon giving you an update on the situation here on Edisto Beach. I'll send it back to you in the studio, Bill.
Live 5's Colby Satterfield, right where the road is blocked off. Colby, have you seen this water rise since we talked to you, about an hour ago?
Bill, the water has risen so much so, about an hour ago, I showed you how deep it was on my boots. Take a look at it now. Even compared with the sign, it's gone up very dramatically. And also, I'm seeing debris float down the road. Walk with me here, and I'll show you this car. As you can see, about an hour ago, we showed you it was barely touching the bottom, and now the water is going above the bottom of the car. And look at the water coming up on the tire. It's almost halfway covering the tire, and just an hour ago, it was only up to about a quarter of the tire. And so we're going to keep up with this road closure here, and we're also going to be following road closures all across downtown. So stay with me here downtown. Live in downtown Charleston, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Colby, thank you. And right now, Edisto Beach really feeling the effects of Tropical Storm Julia. That rain band we told you about last hour finally moving across the island. And that's where our Karina Bolster is right now. Karina, a lot has changed in the last hour.
Debbie, not even in the last hour, in the last couple of minutes. You know, last hour we showed you some of the conditions out on the roadway here on Edisto Beach. Well, we wanted to bring you out this hour to check out the beach itself. Take a look at those waves that are coming in right now. They are coming in very strong and very forceful. You know, those waves are just breaking on the breakers right here and just really coming all the way up the beach. Now, my photographer actually saw some people out here earlier this afternoon, but if you take a look down the beach right now, we're not seeing any.
Boy, big changes for Karina there. We lost her, obviously, technology because of the weather. And Colby Satterfield live on Market Street, where basically all the streets around there are shut down. Colby, how high is the water now?
Well, right now it's coming up more over my boot than it was when I talked to you guys just about 30 minutes or so ago. But it's also coming up on the sidewalk. But take a look at this. Businesses have already started preparing. Now they have sandbags out, tarps, and boards ready in case the water were to come over the sidewalk. And right down here, this business just got done right here putting out sandbags. And I also talked with the woman that worked in there, and she says they get ready every time it floods because this street is prone to flooding. So they put the sandbags out just as a safety precaution. I'll have more updates on the road closures in downtown Charleston coming up at 7. Live in downtown, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Colby, thank you. Now, Karina Bolster live on Edisto Beach and the effects of Tropical Storm Julia really being felt out there. Karina, in the last 30 minutes or so, what changes have you seen out there at Edisto?
Bill, one great thing that I've seen is the sun came out. It was absolutely amazing, a very nice surprise, and I'm going to actually point you to the sky right now. If you take a look very closely, those are blue skies. I am a very happy person right now. We didn't expect to see blue skies, especially down here on Edisto Beach, given the amount of rainfall that we've seen today. And just to give you an update on the road conditions at this point, we've shown you all afternoon how bad they are. Well, this is what it looks like right now. There is still standing water, but the good news is the water is receding. If you take a look right here, 2 to 3 hours ago, we couldn't even make out that this was a sidewalk. But as you move further down, you know, as we mentioned, there's still standing water. It is still deep, especially on these beach access roads here off Palmetto Boulevard. But you know what? People are really heeding the warnings of police at this point. They are staying inside. I've seen a couple people come out, especially when the sun came out just briefly, to get a breath of fresh air. But for the most part, people are staying inside off the roads and just trying to hunker out of this tropical storm system as it makes its way through Edisto Beach. And of course, you know, right now we are not out of the tunnel with this system, but we are almost there. We are very close to being done with all of this rain and of course the wind that comes with it. Live on Edisto Beach, Karina Bolster, Live 5 News.
Colby Satterfield is downtown Charleston right now on Ashley Avenue, where that flooding has closed a part of that street right now. Colby, you've been on the peninsula all afternoon long. It seems like police are behind you as well. Any other folks out on the roadways?
Yeah, there's some cars going back and forth, but not near as many as I'd seen earlier. And actually, police are behind me, and they just removed the blocking the road at the end. So this road is going to open back up. I'm going to step out of the way. But in the last 30 minutes that we've been here, the water has really gone down. Just 30 minutes ago, this was all completely underwater. And as you can see now, water is flowing in pretty quick, so the water's gone down quite a bit. But if you look across the street here, you can see as these trucks go through, you can see there's still a lot of water. The sidewalks are underwater. You can't even see the lines on the street. But again, I will be back here at 7:30 for another update for you. Lisa?
Our Colby Satterfield is live from Fishburne in Haygood and is continuing to track those road conditions out there for us. Right by the road closed sign, Colby.
Yes, and it was just closed about 25 minutes or so ago, and you can see why. The road is just completely covered from Fishburne all the way down to Line Street. You can see police waiting to come through themselves, but here at this intersection at Haygood and Fishburne, I'm seeing just as many people try and risk it as they do to turn around. A lot of cars are just coming right here and then pulling in this parking lot and turning back around, and it might be a good idea if you ever are driving and if you feel nervous about it, be sure not to risk it. Now let me show you just how deep this water is just on the highway. You can see it's starting to come up on my boots here as I go to the side. It really, as soon as you start going, it really gets pretty deep. And you can see this truck going through right there. People are coming, people are going, but people are still turning around. And if you're nervous, I want to remind you, just turn around. Live in downtown Charleston, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.